Hello, namaste to all of you. Myself, Dr. Shivaji Chobe. Uh, it gives me immense pleasure to speak in the 8th World Congress on Nursing Education and Practice. First of all, I thank to all the organizers and giving me the invitation to talk in this World Congress on Nursing and Education and Practice. So, myself, Dr. Shivaji Chobe. I am from S. Vyasa Yoga University from Bangalore. So, my topic for today's talk is duration of yoga session and its impact on mental health in elderly of long-term yoga practitioners. So, this is our yoga university in the Bangalore, India. Whole university is dedicated to the yoga studies, scientific yoga studies, researches, and their health benefits in a various health conditions. And we offer the various education programs in the yoga disciplines. So, what I am going to cover in my today's talk is about introductory part about aging, then mental health challenges in geriatrics, and then I'll speak about what is yoga and how the yoga is going to play a very important role in elderly mental health care. And then I'll speak about my main presentation, that the importance of long-term yoga practice for better mental health in elderly. So these are the major points I'll cover in my talk. So the global aging. So all over the world, people are aging and their numbers, their percentages are increasing gradually. So in 2015, there were 12% of the global population who are more than 60 years of age. And it is estimated that this population will rise up to 22% in 2015. In 2019, the almost 1 billion people were aged about 60, and majority of the population aged more than 60, or the elderly population, is residing in the low and middle income countries. Out of the whole population, elderly population, 80% of the peoples are living in these low and middle income countries, and especially the major part of this elderly people is residing in the Asia. So there are various factors that influences the healthy aging. Actually, the as people go on aging, lifestyle factor, environmental factor, and different personal characteristics that influences the health, and that further influences the normal healthy aging, and that leads to the certain kind of a disabilities along with the age. And globally, it has been said that in 2017, the life expectancy was 73 years, but healthy life expectancy was only 63 years. That means that around 10 years of the life is spent in the very poor health, or because of some or other kind of a illness or the diseases in old age. So what are these different health challenges faced by the elderly people? There are many different health challenges like a chronic non-communicable diseases, multiple diseases comes together, that is multimorbidity, polypharmacy, multiple drugs people take for different kinds of health issues and different disabilities. And because of that, there is an increase in the medical care cost, and that ultimately affect the quality of life in old age. And along with that, the mental health or the mental diseases or the mental disturbances in the old age is one of the major challenge, and which is my main topic of the today's presentation. So what are the different mental health challenges faced by the people globally? That if we see these different estimates, like 15% of the elderly people have some or other kind of a psychological issue or psychological problem, and 6.6% of these have the disabilities in and they have the difficulties in a daily living because of the psychological problems. The people have elderly people mostly they face the dementia and associated problems like a cognitive impairment, and also their prevalences are high, and this dementia is one of the major NCD among the 10 NCDs said by the major 10 NCDs said by the WHO. The depression is one of the major prevalenting problem in the elderly. So these are all the different kinds of mental health problems in the elderly, and that leads to the various uh, problems or the low quality of life in the elderly. So most of the times these mental health problems are underestimated by healthcare professionals, or that much emphasis is not given, and mental health has its own impact on the physical health and vice versa also. The psychological stress leads to the poor immunity and uh, poor health outcomes. So, and then the pharmacological treatments which are available for the dealing with the mental health related issues, they are not also sufficient. And as people go on aging, and along with this kind of a complicated health issues, that may increase their health care cost. So it is essential that cost-effective, multidimensional, integrative healthcare is essential to handle the overall health, or specifically the mental health in the geriatrics. So aging is not coming with only healthy aging. It is sometimes disability plus disease, and that may be the depending on our how much we are living the healthy and how much we are going to live the long life. The global strategy of WHO recommended that integrative healthcare for healthy aging is very important, and it includes that diet, physical activity, mental activities should be integrated. So how we can integrate all these things together? Most of the times the healthcare sectors are taking the each component separately and dealing with that. So it is a time to integrate all this healthy aspect of the individual's living in the one commodity, and we should offer not only the medicine, not only the just a one-dimensional care, but the multi-dimensional approach for healthy aging and for care of a different variety of diseases for better outcome is essential. So alternative therapies and complementary therapies play a very important role to integrate with the conventional care for better outcomes. So among these all alternative and complementary therapies, yoga is now emerged as one of the major therapy, and it has been proven that it is more holistic in a dimension, and it can take care many of the aspects in the life as a yoga therapy. And globally we are using this yoga as a yoga therapy for deal with the different kinds of health related issues. So coming to the next point, that what is yoga? So basically yoga is a spiritual discipline, and the ultimate aim of this yoga is union of individual consciousness with cosmic consciousness. Though it is a very higher dimension, but nowadays we are uh, using yoga, or the yoga is gaining the popularity all over the globe because of its health benefits. It is altogether as like it is a combination of art, science, and philosophy, and last 3 decades it has been gained worldwide popularity. And what is the yoga means? Generally people think that yoga means like only the yoga asanas or the physical postures, but not. It is not that much. It is not just a yoga asanas, but it is a holistic way of living, including the self-discipline and self-social conduct, cleansing techniques, the internally cleaning our body to detoxify ourselves. Also the yogic postures, which helps to strengthen our musculoskeletal systems and the physical body more. Then regulated breathings. The certain regulated breathings is called pranayamas, which helps to enhance our physiological processes and strengthen our body and physiology, and also it brings the certain kind of a equilibrium and stability in our thought process, and that is what mind. And meditation, it is called dharana and dhyana in the yoga. So meditation is another dimension which works on our physical and mental realm to maintain the healthy and stable body and mind complex. So yoga is mainly focusing on the body, and internally it is focusing on calming down our mind. So in that way, yoga is not only the physical, but yoga can take care of our physical body, physiological processes, and our mental dimensions, mental or the psychological aspects. If we do it in an appropriate way, so it is a skill to slow down the mind, and also it helps in a higher spiritual way. So there are multiple researches has been shown that yoga is effective. Uh, Yoga is very effective in elderly health care. So different systematic reviews has been shown that yoga is beneficial to uh, enhance the health as compared to the conventional exercise. Yoga is beneficial in all chronic NCDs and psychological disorders in the elderly. That is shown in the one of the systematic review by the Movinton et al. Another study done by us, that is yoga-based intervention for positive effects on cognition and mental health in elderly. That has also shown that yoga is very effective to enhance the different kinds of psychological issues in the elderly, like anxiety, depression, and it also help to enhance the cognition. So coming to our major today's topic, that mainly I am presenting this particular paper in this conference, this that as the yoga therapy or the yoga practices are gaining the popularity worldwide, and various researches has been shown that yoga is effective, but these studies which has been used the yoga as a intervention, the duration of the yoga intervention or the session of each yoga practice in a various studies is different. So what we are trying to see in this particular research is that the yoga session, duration of a yoga session, how it is going to impact on the psychological health among long-term elderly yoga practitioners. So mainly we are going to see in this study, our objective is that to present our main objective is that this study is intended to compare the impact of duration of daily yoga sessions. That is, daily yoga sessions may be 30 minutes, that is half an hour yoga session, or maybe 1 hour yoga session or 60-minute yoga session. How it is going to impact on our mental health among long-time elderly yoga practitioners. So for this, uh, we have been taken the elderly people from a one elderly health survey who were participated in the elderly health survey, and from that elderly health survey people, we have been taken this sample for this study to find out uh, the long-term yoga practitioners. In the long-term yoga practitioners, which session, 30-minute session or a 60-minute session, will be more effective on their psychological health. So inclusion and exclusion was the elderly doing yoga practice for more than 3 years. Minimum their participation inclusion was at least they should have been doing yoga practice for 3 years, and weekly they should be doing at least 5 days in a week yoga practice. And either they may be practicing up to that is either half an hour practice or 1 hour yoga practice. And those people who are doing these two practices, half an hour and 1 hour yoga practice, shortlisted and included in this study. So we got 66 elderly who have been fulfilled our inclusion criteria, and this is the details of our participants. So 30-minute yoga practitioners were 24 and 60 minutes yoga practitioners were 42. And number of male subjects in the 30-minute yoga practice were 15, and in the 60 minutes of yoga practice were 21. So mean age or the average age and the standard deviation of these two group of yoga practitioners were like this. The 67 years, 67.38 is the mean age in the 30-minute yoga practitioner group, whereas the somewhat similar age group in the 60-minute yoga practitioner group. And if we see the total yoga practice, total years of yoga practice, in the 30-minute yoga group, the people were practiced the average 11.5 years. Since 11.5 years, they were practicing 30-minute yoga practice plus minus 7.9, that is standard deviation. Whereas in 60-minute yoga group, people were practicing 14.6 years on an average, whereas plus minus 9.5 years, that is standard deviation. So it is quite long-term yoga practitioners, more than 10 years in both the groups, and their average age was around 67 in both the groups. Then we have been assessed for their psychological assessment, that is cognition. We were assessed by cognitive impairment test, that is 6 CIT test, and depression we were assessed by the geriatric depression scale, 15-atom scale. Then stress was assessed by perceived stress scale, that is PSS, and the quality of life is also assessed by using the CASP 19. And then to do the statistical analysis, we were used the independent sample test, that is Mann-Whitney-U test, by using the SPSS version 20 to determine the impact of duration on yoga sessions on psychological health. So in the statistical results, we found that there was a significant difference in both the groups for cognition, for depression, and for quality of life. So the cognition and the depression and the quality of life was better in the people who were doing the 60 minutes of yoga practice daily as compared to the 30 minutes yoga practice. So these are the statistical results, whereas the perceived stress scale was borderline significant, and that is also better in the 60-minute yoga practice. So these are the p values, and these were the z square for the Mann-Whitney test, and these are the median scores for that particular assessment test. So it means that the 30 minutes of yoga practice may be not that much effective as compared to the 60 minutes yoga practice. Though we are saying that daily 30 minutes of physical activity is more also effective, but if we compare the long-term yoga practitioners as per their sessions, maybe the 30-minute session daily practice and compared to the 60-minute daily yoga practice, so in that definitely the 60-minute yoga practice is more superior than the 30 minutes yoga practice for enhancement or the for their betterment in their psychological health, and especially in the improvement in the cognition, depression, and the quality of life, along with the improvement in the stress. So in the conclusion, we can say that to enhance the psychological health, 1 hour yoga session might be more effective than half-hour yoga session in long-time elderly yoga practitioners. So this study will put some kind of a light that whenever we in future we are going to design the yoga therapy sessions for better health outcomes, especially the psychological health outcomes, we should think about 1 hour standard yoga protocol weekly 5 days as compared to the 30 minutes or the less duration yoga protocol or the yoga practices, and that to be weekly twice or weekly once or weekly thrice. That may be not going to give the rigorous benefits or the strong benefits in the elderly. So in the overall conclusion that 1 hour yoga weekly 5 days and longer practice will give the better health for the elderly and better psychological outcomes. With this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak in the conference, and we look forward to have this kind of opportunities further to enhance or share our knowledge with the nursing people, because they are going to handle the various elderly population and there are many different health challenges. So again, thanks to all the organizers and for giving me the opportunity to speak in this international conference. Thank you. Namaste.